With the Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom! Woo! Bang!
And this is show number 127. Georgia takes on Florida this week in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Adam, are you ready?
I'm ready. Crank it up 5 notches. This is the biggest week of the year. You ask a Georgia fan right here. This is the one that matters the most right here. I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but to me, it'll always be Florida. The most hated team, enemy number one to me, is always the Florida Gators and that poverty program in Gainesville, Florida. I hate Florida. I've hated Florida since I was a kid, man. And every year going to Jacksonville is special. And we got one more in Jacksonville till we take a hiatus from Jacksonville, Clark, a few years. And we got to enjoy this one. Soak in every moment of this one, man. Love how that series has turned out. All of the older Georgia fans have suffered more than I have through it in the 90s. But early 2000s, man, hate them. Never gets old beating them. Like it's joyous. It's like winning a championship. Anytime you go down to Jacksonville, man, you see that other side of the stadium empty out. When you get that aerial shot, it's late in the fourth quarter when the sun sets because the time changes that night. So when the sun sets, man, and you get that aerial shot, it used to be on CBS, and one half of the stadium, all the red and black still there, and then you just see specks of orange and blue scattered on the other side. You know it's been a fun day in Jacksonville, man. So I'm ready to ramp this one up. This is one of my favorite episodes of the year is Florida Hate Week. Gator Hater, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it used to be, Clark, just real quick, the tradition used to be you always, of course, have a bye before Florida, but the week before you would go before the bye and then the next game be Florida. It's the whole Georgia fan base would already start the "It's great to be a Gator hater" chomp and chant, man. But that's died out through the years. But yeah, I mean, there needs to be more Florida hate. I feel like this current younger generation of Georgia fans, they don't like it, but I feel like it's lost its luster, and we need to ramp that back up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps, though, that we have been on the winning end and have turned the tide in this rivalry.
But never take it for granted.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, because we as Georgia fans, we didn't necessarily grow up in the 90s. The 90s, obviously, and we'll get into all this in just a little bit. Right. But 90s were awful, and if you lived through that, you know about it. And Adam, I mean, we saw the 2000s, right?
Yeah,
and those weren't great times either.
No.
But, man, ever since Kirby arrived on scene, things have gotten a lot better in Jacksonville, and that's the way we want it. Yeah. And that's what we want to do this weekend. We've got to beat the Florida Gators. If you want to have any shot at Atlanta, I know some people are thinking, do we really want to go to the SEC Championship?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, it's the SEC Championship, man. I had a whole monologue about that, or dialogue. I don't know the correct log. Was it a monologue last year?
I think either
or. Yeah. With the new alignment of the conferences last year, that about how the SEC championship still matters. I mean, growing up in the 2000s, man, I mean that was as big as the national championship of the BCS area. It's going to Atlanta and the old Georgia Dome and watching Georgia win the SEC championship. Man, the memories. You kidding? I can't, as a traditionalist, I can't get away from the SEC championship and that first Saturday in December being monstrous when Georgia gets playing, and I've grown accustomed to it, man. So I kind of was the other night. We were watching some ball here at the shop and kind of looking at A&M rolling. A lot of football left to play. And, again, Georgia's in the hunt in November, and that's what's exciting about it. Just blessed to just consistently, year after year with Kirby Smart, being the championship picture for the SEC, the playoff, whatever. Yeah. Always going into November. I mean, a lot of our rivals, our seasons are over, and I love it. Injected in that vein right there. And so, yeah, I mean, of course, I want to go, but I understand the argument of people who don't, but I love the SEC championship, and it means something, man. Last year, winning that game against Texas in overtime was glorious. Yeah. Floated out of that stadium.
Well, yeah, and my point here was the road goes through Jacksonville, right?
That's right.
You know, think about this. Ever since 2014, either Georgia or Florida has represented the East. Now, I know we don't have divisions anymore in the SEC, but Georgia and or Florida since 2014 have been in the SEC championship game. And a lot of it has to do with this game coming up this Saturday. So we're going to be previewing the Georgia-Florida game, also known as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Always will be.
Exactly.
The world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
We're going to be talking about some history on this show. We'll preview this game, obviously. We're going to be talking about Georgia's offense, Georgia's defense, Florida's offense and defense, and then we've got some Week 10 games we'll also talk about at the very end, and then we've got a score prediction, so stick around for that. Adam, We're
Yes,
coming
sir.
off a bye week.
Yes, sir.
The people didn't get 2 episodes last week. They didn't get 2 episodes this week either, but I think we were able to rest our voices, I got some well-needed rest or much-needed rest.
Yep.
Got some really good sleep, caught up on some work. I started Breaking Bad, the TV show.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad? Heard about it?
No, I've heard of it, but I have not sat down and watched it yet. Is it a good,
oh
good
my
film?
gosh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
TV show.
Yeah.
Not film. But
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, good.
You need to get into it. But anyway, I did that. I fixed my broken dryer. I replaced the belt. Have you ever done that either?
Replace the belt on a dryer?
In a
I have
dryer?
not had a dryer belt go out, no.
Yeah, well, mine was snapped in half and it wasn't working. And I put it back together, and then lo and behold, it doesn't even turn on. So we're taking it to the junk pile. Went to Lowe's today against my better judgment. Normally, I go to Home Depot for my appliances and anything like that. Went to Lowe's, kind of felt sacrilegious.
Yeah.
But anyway, got a new dryer. So I've been doing that this bye week. What have you been up to?
Well, I'll be honest. Let's talk about appliances. My uncle was ran his own business of appliance work for years and years and years. And you're getting to the point now with these appliances, man. If they break, you're better off just trashing them.
Yeah.
You used to could work on old ones back in the day, and you really used to not have to work on them. They'd run, especially them dryers, man. That was the top load dryers, you know. And then anything that you put digital displays on nowadays, anything with technology like that. I mean, when it used to just be the old turn knob timers and everything with the top load mount dryers, that was in the glory days with the and now, you know, we get all these stackable units, man, and a lot of vibration in there and with that, and a lot of digital displays and all these different settings that you could do, air, steam wash with a little bit of water. I mean, it's just dumb, just overkill, man. Just give me a traditional dryer, man. Where you know, that had the knob that you would pull out. Start, you know, you wind it with the clock, and then you pull it out and hit the start button and pull in top load right there. Yeah, I mean, that glory days, like a lot of things in life and in the world. But you know, I'm thankful to be here. Right. You know, don't let me take that for granted. But I think row 60 people know nowadays that a lot of things, especially I think a lot of digital stuff and in cars, computerized tractors, anything has messed up a lot of things, in my opinion. But anyway, I digress. We could do another podcast on that sometime.
Well, what's ironic about this, Adam, is that we are using technology to broadcast our voices out there to the people, and people are listening on said devices to us right now.
Good.
So what do you have to say to that? What's your rebuttal?
Well, good. I'm glad we could communicate like that through it, but you know, ways and areas,
just everything else.
Everything else, man. I just think it's hurt us as a society more and more.
Interesting.
Social media, iPhones, everything.
Yeah. Well, what did you do in the bye week, Adam?
Oh, what I did in the bye week. Okay, I spent some time, of course, with the family. I hung a deer stand. I have a preferred squeeze chute for cows that kind of been a little bit weathered and froze up, so I brought it in the shop here, and I did that Saturday watching some ball, got it unfroze, put some heat on some of the hinges and everything, and got it working good and operational to be put back out. So, you know, did some odd and end things, and so I mean, it was good. It was good, just time really with family, man. Really enjoyed that. We rode around a little bit with on the mule outside. On the side by side there, you know, with Callie, my daughter. So I mean, it was good. I always enjoy this bye week. This time of year, love this time of year, man. Yeah. And it was good.
We also did something fun. Our patrons, shout out to our patrons, got to see it. We did a little trunk or treat.
We did do
a little row
treat.
60
That's
trunk or
right.
treat. We passed out some magnets and some stickers alongside with some candy, some Twix and whatnot. Yeah. Adam, Halloween's coming up. I think I asked you this last year. Favorite Halloween candy? Give me a chocolate, and then give me a like a something tart or sweet, maybe, other than chocolate.
Three Musketeers.
Really?
Three Musketeers. Love a Three Musketeers bar. I think that is the most underrated piece of candy that you can get at a gas station or wherever. You know, everybody wants to go for these high end things like a Snickers or
Wait, when did Snickers become high end?
Snickers or peanut butter, or Snickers or I don't know, Twix bar, stuff like that. You know, a lot of that you see commercials, a lot of Snickers, right? You're not you and your or a Twix bar. The whole campaign they had on the left or right Twix at the factory, right? So you see a lot of advertising there. But the Three Musketeers bar, you don't see that on the television,
it's
right?
Just humble.
It's just humble, and it lets this product speak for itself. When you get it, you forget how much you love indulging in a Three Musketeers bar. So I mean, I encourage everybody this week, if you go to a gas station, pick up a Three Musketeers bar and get that reminder of how good of a chocolate it is. That and a Crunch bar. Three Musketeers and Crunch, they fly low, they just stay to themselves, and they're just a good chocolate bar to eat, man. So I mean, I just want to reintroduce the Three Musketeers and a Crunch bar to the public again.
I love it, Adam.
What about you? Oh, and a Sour Patch Kid. I like a Sour Patch Kid. Actually, trolley sour gummy worms, man. Love that. But yeah. Anyway, how about you?
Man, I'm a big Kit Kat guy.
Yeah, a Kit Kat. That falls into the top tier.
Oh, it does.
Category. Yeah.
So
I do like a Kit Kat.
So really,
the
wine and cheese crowd of the candy bars is Snickers. It's Kit Kat.
I think they're more dark chocolate though. You know, like a Russell Stover's type dark chocolate.
That's
you get what I'm saying?
upper echelon.
Probably not going to stop at a Circle K and get a Mountain Dew slushie at a candy bar, right? You know? Or a dog off the roller that's been there for about 27 hours rolling. You know, but
how do we get to talking about this?
I love a good gas station visit.
Oh yeah,
to get a
We'll have to stop.
Snack.
We'll have to stop at a Quick Trip or Buc-ee's on the way down to Florida this week.
You got to.
Anyway,
it's good. But yeah, I agree. But love this time of year. Love the festivals, man. But yeah, it was a great fellowship. Getting to see the kids, enjoy getting some candy, man. We set up a little trunk or treat there with Georgia themed, and it was a good time.
It sure was. Well, speaking of patrons, I want to shout out some new members here. The first being Coldy Straughter from Lake Park, Georgia. Down in Lowndes County.
Down there, yeah.
Bordering,
right
right at Florida. I bet he's hearing some of his buddies, if he even acquaints himself with Florida people, talking some smack this week to Colby. So
you
Colby
talking smack.
They shouldn't be.
Right.
They probably will, knowing Florida fans. Colby, keep fighting the good fight down there, brother. We appreciate you becoming a patron. And joining us. Also, two more. Scott Strite, we shouted him out last week, and Lyndon Carpenter from Augusta. Both those guys from Augusta. Adam, I gifted them a 12-month membership to Patreon for helping us hold our game day sign up on College Game Day last week.
Get on them.
Thank you, Scott and Lyndon, again. Y'all are awesome. I hope you enjoy your patron membership.
Great guys. Enjoyed meeting them. Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And if you're not on Patreon yet, now is a good week to get on board. We're going to be releasing a lot of stuff this week. We're going to Disney World, by the way, so we might make a vlog, an extended cut. If you guys have been enjoying our vlogs on YouTube, we will very likely make an extended cut for our patrons. You'll get to see us at Disney World and interacting.
Yeah, the
Adam
children,
and I
taking the kids down. It's going to be good.
Yes, Adam and I are in our element with Georgia football.
Yeah.
But we are also in our element when it comes to Disney World. We're big Disney World people.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about that, man. Yeah. Always just good to enjoy the little things in life and fellowship with family and everything. So that'll be good.
Absolutely. Be good. If you're not on Patreon yet and you want to unlock exclusive Row 60 content, just visit patreon.com/Row60, or you can download the Patreon app and search Row 60. It's just $5 a month, and every single penny we put back into the program to make more content for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Do you have another?
No. Oh, yeah, I do have one more.
Yes,
one more person. I almost skipped over this.
Big one.
This is a big shout out for a big birthday.
Big birthday.
We want to shout out Mr. Russell Harrell, 60th birthday. Row 60, 60th birthday.
Russell Harrell, a pillar in the Row 60 community here in the Section 108 family that we have. Great Section 108 crew that we have representing Row 58, but a pillar in the Row 60 community. Russell Harrell, 60th birthday, you said?
Yeah.
Really?
I wouldn't have ever thought.
I thought he don't look a day over 42.
I agree.
Me. So that's great.
We won some brownie points there.
You dang right we did. Love that. Russell Harrell, I'm doing one of these numbers. Yes. Kobe Dean right here. if you're listening to audio, you could, but he knows. He knows.
Yeah, he knows exactly what we're doing
in honor of Russell Harrell's birthday. God bless you. Love the Harrell family. Love Mr. Russell. Love y'all.
Y'all be safe going down to
Florida. Boom.
Yep. They are probably listening to this very podcast right now going to Florida.
That's great. So,
we love y'all. Be careful. We'll see y'all there. All right, Adam. Let's shift gears here. Talk about some Georgia football. Right. Georgia, Florida. This is great. 104th edition of the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Adam, Florida fans, they'll say it's the 103rd. There's a big dispute way back when. I think it might have been the 1942 game. Florida had a bunch of guys go off to war.
And God bless them.
And we thank them for their service if any of those guys are still alive, which I'd imagine there's some. But, and Georgia said, no, that game counted. It was the biggest blowout, I'm pretty sure. It was a skull dragging of a game for Georgia. Georgia counts that Florida doesn't.
Well, that was Georgia's national championship year in 42. You know, they went on to beat UCLA in the Rose Bowl. We actually got a picture of a block punt from that game, you know, that national championship year. Sinkwich won a Heisman Trophy, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like to count it, but of course that was a heck of a time in the U.S. and a great generation, the strongest generation. And, I mean, wild time as far as how many men that played college football had to pause their careers and go fight in one of the theaters in Europe or in the Pacific, man, and heck of some men in that area. And but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And women on the home front with the women did the Rosie the Riveters and stuff. So I mean, yeah, just an amazing effort to win that war.
Yeah. I honestly wish we had a lot more camaraderie like that in our nation right now. We need it. Georgia leads the series finally. It took us a while to get back on top. 57-44-2. Man, there's been a lot of good games in the past, 20, 25 years. I say good games. There's also been some shellackings that we won't mention on this show. But, man, Adam, let's talk about some of our favorite games. We do this every year, I think. But, walk us through some of your favorites, some of your most memorable moments in this rivalry.
I mean, I've always loved the Georgia-Florida history, man. Grew up studying it. The games that I wasn't alive for, games that I was too young to remember. And it was it's a very unique rivalry, I mean, because obviously it's one of the two historic rivalries besides Oklahoma and Texas that are played in a neutral site every year, right? And it's split 50-50, so that's what makes it unique. I love the game in Jacksonville. That's a controversial topic, but I've always enjoyed that and the uniqueness of the environment that you get down there, right? And I mean, Georgia's gone on some tears down there. We're finally getting to see, if I could go back in time and tell 10-year-old Adam, hang on, man, we're going to wait until you get to about 32 years old and just see where this series is flipped. Because back then it didn't feel like we would ever consistently beat Florida, right? I mean, every year you looked at the schedule and think, man, I just hope we beat Florida. That's a Super Bowl, you were thinking. And games that I really liked before I was born, Appleby to Washington. Classic Munson call. The gutters are bending. Appleby stopped, threw it, thinking of Montreal and the Olympics, ran out of his. I mean, just great. I think that was 75, right? So, obviously, Steve Spurrier developed his hate for Georgia, and I guess what was it? Maybe around 66. I don't remember that when Florida was, I think, ranked number 1 undefeated, cost them the SEC championship, and his Heisman. Yeah, Bill Stanfield sacked him multiple times, man. So great win right there, and that developed a hate that Spurrier had for Georgia after that, man. And you saw when he became a coach, his alumni, that he never beat Georgia, and he took it out on him. And I mean, same thing with Kirby Smart. Didn't have a good record against Florida, right? As a player, and what he's done is changed the rivalry since he's come in. He made that a priority when he came in to Athens in December 2015. We got to flip the Florida series. Before you do anything, you got to win the East, and you got to do that at that point in time when there were still divisions. You have to beat Florida, and then still you just got to beat Florida to be successful as a Georgia head coach, right? So, I mean that game, and then of course 80 blew to Scott. Last under 2 minutes to go. 92 yards, I mean, Munson's call there, just legendary. If you're a Georgia fan, you got to memorize that call, And I mean, it's 26-21 right there. Miracle. My mom was sitting in the end zone. Lindsey Scott was running too. So, of course, if you don't win that game, you don't win the national championship in 1980, right? I mean, you blow them out. I think 44-0. Herschel Walker scored in 82, 3 touchdowns, I think. I mean, just dominating performance. And then they get blew out by Florida in 84, Clark. And they think the Bulldog Monkeys off their back. In 1985 is one of my favorite games. Of course, I wasn't there, but I love watching highlights of this. And a lot of, hopefully, people listening to this that were alive back then, man, can remember that Florida was ranked number 1. Galen Hall had them coming in, and Kerwin Bell was their quarterback. And Keith Henderson and Tim Worley ran wild, 24-3 upset over number 1 Florida. They thought they would beat Georgia. But from everything I hear, the Florida fans were just sky-high confident. Georgia fans stormed the field, ripped up the turf. A lot of people had to steal turf from that game, right? So, I mean, it's just classic. And I think, looking at the 80s, man, when Georgia dominated that series down there, and you look at the old Gator Bowl, right? So, the Gator Bowl back then was just a rowdy environment, man. I think just people just were more simple-minded back then and just were rowdy, my kind of people, rowdy about college football, right? And just got into it. And I mean, just the video footage of those games back then, it was like, man, that's my atmosphere, my environment right there.
Yeah, speaking of those games, man. And you go back and you watch Lindsey Scott cross the goal line in 80, and you see fans on the field like pretty much on like in the end zone celebrating with Lindsey Scott. And then, he goes to the sideline and there's Buck Blue and Lindsey. There's a classic picture of the two of them sitting on the bench, and behind them are more fans.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It got so out of hand, and I could have only imagined what it would have been like to actually been there in those moments.
Oh, yeah.
And to live that.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's wild, man. I mean, and then, of course, the series gets flipped when Spurrier comes in the late 80s, early 90s. The first time I kicked in my mother's stomach was in the 1992 Georgia-Florida game.
Really?
Yeah. So one of those games, 91-92, with Eric Zier, we about beat them, man, in the rain, and we didn't have a timeout, I think, but it was a rainy game. A good Florida team, and, of course, they dominated us. In the mid-90s is when the old Gator Bowl got tore down, when the Jaguars came to Jacksonville, similar to what they're doing after this year, building a new stadium, and they built the new stadium that we've enjoyed since 96, I guess. 94, 95, it was in Athens and in Gainesville. Of course, that's when Spurrier was like, has anybody ever hung 50 up on Florida or Georgia and Sanford? No, that hadn't been done. So he did it, of course. Ran up the score. It was terrible. From what I've heard, I'm sure the fans that were there that day, I was 2 years old, was just obviously just terrible. So that's why I was hoping, man, that we were going to go to Gainesville.
Yeah, that'd be
in
fun.
26, man, because it would have been awesome for Kirby to have gone in there and said, we're going to hang up 50 on them. Especially with their as a program, that would have been glorious. I would have been juiced that game.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I can't stand Steve Spurrier, can't stand Urban Meyer, man. And 97, we beat him 37-17 with Bobo and Robert Edwards running wild. The only win we get in the 90s. And then 04, one of my favorite games, Clark. I mean, sorry, I can just go on and on. 02, we got our hearts broke. Terrence Edwards dropped a pass. We were undefeated going into that game. 04, we beat them 31-24. I remember Fred Gibson catching one across the middle. And then 07 was the end zone celebration. Wild game, man. Tebow sophomore year. Get blew out by Tebow 2 consecutive years. Remember driving all night after a high school football game to watch us just get blew out by 30-plus points each year.
And you're not exaggerating. You left like – and I did this too for a few games.
Yeah.
We would play a high school football game up in Northeast Georgia. It'd be, 11:30 before you get out of the locker room, shower, everything. Get on the road, 5 hours down to Jacksonville?
Yeah.
You get there like 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, then sometimes we even got delayed. I remember it would be early morning, and we would be in the parking lot of the hotel, and then Georgia fans would be loading the car with ice chests, getting ready to go tailgate, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you got to get a quick shower, get ready to roll, maybe a 30, 40-minute power nap. Then you go to Jacksonville and get smoked by Tim Tebow and Percy Harvin and all those guys, right? I mean, in 08, it was awful. You thought you had a chance. I remember Stafford threw a 99-yard interception return to Joe Hayden, and then in 09, you just knew it was just going to be a bloodbath. Like, you knew it was. I mean, Urban just, that 07 game, he took it out 2 years on Georgia. And when we came out with those black helmets and black pants, then it was
hideous.
Just knew. Those 2 years were a blur. They were awful. 10 was a terrible game, too.
It was, and we should have won it.
Should have won that game, the OT game. But 11 was good. That was a fun win. First win there in a few years, 4 years or so. And then 12, beating them, finally getting that time. I mean, that's the first time we beat them back-to-back since the 80s.
Right.
It was 11 and 12, so that's big. And then you get another one in 13. 14 was horrible. But, I mean, and the 17 is one of my favorites because we just blew them out. Because all these wins were close, but then 17 was just a
should have been a shutout, man. I mean, God, we've had several opportunities to shut Florida out the past decade or so, but just haven't done it yet. Yeah,
I mean, it was a that 17 game was glorious because we got on them like 21-0 from the rip, and and we've been wanting to just because I mean a lot of those games 31-24, 24-20, 42-30, 17-9, 23-20. Looking at all the scorecards have up here of close wins that you had against Florida back then, in the 2000s, but 17 was the one you just smoked them, and I mean, and Kirby changed it, man, and we got that first win, lost to him his first year in 16. Won 17, 18, 19, closer games then, 20, COVID year, just that freaking wheel route the second quarter. But, and then, of course, from 21 on, it's been fun, man. And that's why I hate Florida. And it's so important because I remember the early 2000s, 02, 03 were just heartbreaking losses, man. 05 and 06 were as well. We didn't have DJ Shockley in 05. And so, I mean, it's one of those things I think from my era, my childhood growing up, because of the stigma around Florida, it was It was awful, but I mean, memorable games, memorable Georgia wins in the '80s and 2000s there, and then of course, the past few years we flipped the series and looking for the 5th win in a row. If you would have asked me in 2006 if Georgia would ever have an opportunity to beat Florida 5 years in a row, I said you're crazy. So
yeah.
Here
we are.
Yeah, if you're a young Georgia fan or a new Georgia fan, this is a blessing, and you never take advantage of a winning against Florida. So that's why I want it so bad, Clark. Last thing I'll say, because I can go on a rant about this. I want it so bad. When I heard Billy Napier was fired, because Wisconsin did this with Barry Alvarez. Bob Stoops did it with Oklahoma when Lincoln Riley left in their bowl game a couple years ago. They had one of their legendary coaches who's still affiliated with the program come back and be an interim. I want it so bad for them to announce Steve Spurrier and that freaking visor get on the sideline again in Jacksonville. I would have lost my mind for Kirby to have been able to coach against Spurrier. One game in Jacksonville, it would have been it might have been the most fired up I've ever been going into a Georgia. I mean, national championships and all that stuff out there, but it would have. I would have just gone berserk.
Yeah.
But we get Steve Spurrier Jr. on the sideline. So that's
true.
the next best thing. There's be a Spurrier on the sideline Saturday, man, and we need to smoke him. We need to smoke
That
him.
would be awesome.
Hate him.
Could you imagine that, though? Sure enough, Steve Spurrier, Kirby Smart, visor versus visor.
Oh, and both coaches hate the other team on the sideline, man. And that's what college football is all about.
That is why this is one of the best rivalries in college football.
That would have
Look,
been awesome.
for me, I will call this the best, although I don't really believe that. That's definitely a biased take. But, man, this has to be one of the top 3 rivalries. And I think it would take you going down there and witnessing this game and just the atmosphere around it to understand that. Like, if you've never been to Georgia-Florida game, you would never understand what it really is like down there.
It's pandemonium, man.
It is.
I mean, it's so unique. I've never been to the Red River Shootout in the Dallas State Fair, but this is in Jacksonville. I can't imagine that the party scene over there could be as wild as it is in Jacksonville.
Right.
It's insane. One of the first times I went down there, I was 9. It was 2002. Georgia was undefeated. I mean, Rick, the SEC championship year, Rick's second year, and Spurrier's first year gone from Florida, right? So, I mean, everything lined up perfect.
Right.
Spurrier's gone. Mark Rick's here, got us humming, man. We're undefeated. And Ron Zook's Florida team's not looking that good. They kicked the game off at like 8 p.m. And the fights and everything that ensued, the pandemonium leading up to that game, they said, we will never have another night kickoff.
Yeah.
And that's why Georgia, Florida is always a 3:30 kick established in the summer every year. It's because of that night in 2002 that it was just so much pandemonium in Jacksonville that day. It was a heartbreaking loss for Georgia. But I even at 9, I remember like, oh, my goodness, this is insane. I mean, can you imagine 8 p.m. kickoff in Jacksonville?
That'd be crazy.
That's the last year it kicked off at night. And it was, I think, from what I always heard, because of what happened down there, it never happened again.
It'd have to
Never
be.
happened again.
It'd have to be like a public safety issue for sure. I mean, just the amount of alcohol people consume down there is insane.
Oh, yeah. But I love this game, man.
Absolutely.
This one gets me juiced every time. Can't believe it's the last time in Jacksonville for a few years. It's going to feel so weird next year playing them in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Georgia has Georgia has a 4-game win streak right now, as we just noted. Last time Georgia won 4+ straight games against Florida was 1978 to 1983. In which we won, I think,
Golden
5.
age right there.
Yep.
Golden age against Florida right there. I think, in 80 we beat them, of course, 26-21. Beat them again 26-21. I think in 81, and then 44 to, or it might have been 44 to nothing in 82, maybe. So, great run right there, man. Who is your most hated Florida Gator?
Well, I mean, I like Tebow for the person he was.
Absolutely.
But as a player, purely as a player, it'd have to be Tebow.
Oh, yeah. That's just a
I'd
player,
say
man.
Percy
Great guy,
Harvin's
obviously.
up there. Spikes. What's his
Brandon
name?
Spikes.
Brandon Spikes. Can't stand him.
Urban Meyer was just, he was such a, I just dislike Spurrier and Urban Meyer so much, especially Urban Meyer. Just not a good high character guy. Just can't stand him.
Also, Matt Jones made him look like a Heisman candidate. 2014.
God, that was
He ran
cold
for like
day,
250-something yards.
Oh, that was terrible. Pruitt's down there. God, that was a terrible game. Looking to beat them 4 years in a row, then just laid an egg. I tell you one, going earlier in the decade, man, Chris Leak.
Yeah.
We beat him his freshman year, but Chris Leak, man, before Tebow, he was a quarterback before Tebow there. Some pedestrian Florida teams and in 04 and 05. We beat them in 04, 05. They really weren't that good. Urban Meyer's first year. And then, of course, 06, they won the national championship. But I was Chris Leak and his throwing motion, I couldn't stand him. Could not stand Chris Leak. I couldn't stand Chris Leak.
All right.
Joe Hayden. Yeah, that whole 2008, 2009 Florida, I think was my most disliked era of a Georgia rival fan. Like from coach on down, outside of Tim Tebow, as a man, as a person, love what he stands for, but as a player, couldn't stand him. But that whole 08, 09 Florida team, terrible.
Well,
it was a nightmare.
Not to get too sidetracked here, but 2010 Auburn, Gene Chizik, Cam Newton, Nick Fairley.
That's right there up with it.
Right there
absolutely.
with it. Oh, man. All right, let's talk about this year, Georgia, Florida. We'll start kind of talking about Florida here. Obviously, the elephant in the room, Billy Napier, is gone. We said it a long time ago. He's a dead man walking, and sure enough, Florida pulled the trigger. And I think what kind of started this, obviously, was Penn State firing James Franklin.
Who's Jim?
I don't know.
Why did Jim catch a stray bullet there? Whoever Jim Franklin is, God bless him.
I don't know. James Franklin, anyway. And then Florida's like, well, crap, I guess we got to fire our guy.
Yeah.
If we want to go get – and that's – man, this whole coaching carousel is going to get crazy here very, very soon. You know, a lot of new openings, a lot of primetime jobs. I mean, I think – look, I hate Florida, but Florida is a primetime job still.
It is, but I think they have, and I love they've shot themselves in the foot so much. Their AD is just don't like him, and they don't have a university president. You know, you realize since 2011, since Meyer left in 10 with his issues, they hired Muschamp in 11. They've gone Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, Napier. They have had 4 coaches since 2011.
Jeez, that's wild.
Struck out 4 times. I mean, arguably Mullen was the best one out of all of them, right? And they ran him off.
Yeah, I know.
So
if they were smart, they'd go back and get him, but I don't think that would go over well with a lot of Florida people, especially his recruiting comment.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
I love it. Just love them being in the dumps. Just bury him.
Yep. With Billy Napier gone, and I don't know what he's doing, but I would imagine he's probably enjoying his nice buyout, millions upon millions of dollars he's going to be receiving over the next few years. We're now getting Billy Gonzalez, who is
another Billy.
Yeah, who is the receivers coach, or was the receivers coach, and then he is now being promoted as interim head coach. So, Billy Gonzalez, what do you know about him, Adam? Do you know anything about him?
Don't know anything about him. Billy Gonzalez.
I know he's been there a long time.
I was about to say, he sounds like he might have been.
Now, he was there throughout the Urban Meyer tenure.
I thought he was. He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was. He was there. Okay. That is right. I do remember that now. Yeah, he came to Florida. Yeah, he was with all them in that era that I just mentioned.
Yep.
And during Mullen's staff.
Yes.
And came back in 03. Yeah, get that guy. We need to beat him. Drive him in the dirt, man. And Spurrier Jr. on the sideline as well. And Ron Roberts is DC. No ill will against Ron Roberts. No ill will against Ron Roberts. But Billy Gonzalez and Steve Spurrier Jr. Yeah.
Ill will.
Forget them guys, man. I wish them well outside in their personal lives.
You just hope they stub their toe.
I just can't stand people. I just cannot stand Florida, man.
Yeah.
I just, like, Danny Werfel. Can't stand him. Ike Hilliard. Fred Taylor. Some of these 90s. Get Shane Matthews. Get him.
Yeah.
Don't like them.
I don't
like them a bit, man.
Yep.
Poverty program, man. Poverty. They had a short little window there, and they think And now I love that they thought they were going to be a marquee job, and LSU came in, and they're the queen of the ball now.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's the ugly stepsister now, compared to LSU coming in beaming. LSU's going to get the glass slipper now.
Yep, gotta love it. Florida this year started off preseason ranked number 15, and man, have they fallen.
Love it.
We heard a lot of hype, too, about DJ Lagway and this defense. And, they're going to run the table. You know, Josh Pate even had Florida hosting Georgia in the playoffs. And listen, I mean,
that would have been insane.
Yeah, we all know Florida has had a really tough schedule this year. I mean, sure enough, they have played some really, really tough opponents. They have a lot of tough opponents remaining on their schedule. But nonetheless, man, they just have not looked consistent all year. There have been a couple of games where they've come together. They've had some life. Not many, but a couple. And but otherwise, it's just been wildly inconsistent. So Florida this year, they are 3-4 going into Jacksonville. That's pretty odd. That's pretty unusual. I would say 2012, we'll call it. You didn't really see that much, Florida being down this bad. Their wins come against Long Island, 55-0. Good on them. Good shutout win. I didn't even know Long Island had a football team or a university.
Is it New York or is it a different Long Island?
I would imagine it's New York. I don't know. Maybe Rich Beck can tell us about that. Texas, they had a huge win in the Swamp over Texas, 29-21. Texas looked horrible that day, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Florida did come together, and they, the lights came on for DJ Lagway and this team, and they looked really good running the football, especially, which is I think not been their strong suit. I think really the passing game is their only real source of offense this year. And then lastly, they beat Mississippi State right before the bye week. They've also had a bye week this week as well. So they played Mississippi State, beat them 23-21. And then their losses, right quick, against USF at home, 18-16. That was an embarrassing loss. USF has not looked close to what they looked that night in the Swamp. They also lost to Miami 26-7, LSU 20-10, and Texas A&M 34-17. So just not a good year for the Gators, and we love that here.
I love that. I love it. I love it now that it seems like the normal is Florida season's basically over before they get to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I love that being the norm. It's fun in the past when it was whoever won the game was controlling the East back in the day. It's set up for a good environment, but I'm always down for Florida to be bad and not a lot, some empty seats over there on the blue and orange section. So, I'm trying to think, man, is this the second time Florida's come into the game after firing a head coach middle of the season? I want to say Ron Zook was canned after they lost to Mississippi State in 2004. During the bye week before we played them in 2004 and beat them.
I don't know.
I don't know if he was or not, if he finished coaching, but I think he was a dead man walking because they lost. I remember they lost to Mississippi State because we played Arkansas in Fayetteville in 2004, and I remember coming out of that stadium and hearing that Florida got beat by Mississippi State. That was the end of Ron Zook back then. So I don't know, but that's I can't remember if it was officially fired then or not. But anyway, I digress.
Well, Florida right now is in wounded animal mode.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
They have absolutely nothing to lose. Their program is a total dumpster fire. And Georgia is Florida's Super Bowl this year. And so you got to look at it. If you're Georgia, this is a good Florida team. They're good at best, I would say. I would venture to say really they're more average than good, but good. They can be good in these games. If you let them kind of hang around, and Texas let them hang around all game, and that's why they got beat. So you got to look out for this team. A new head coach, and sometimes when you get an interim in like this, one of two things happens.
Yeah, you
get a spark of life, a jolt, or you just fall flat on your face, and the rest of the season is terrible.
Well, yeah, you think about it. I think you described it best there, Clark. I really think there's going to be no in between. I think there's going to be they're either going to come out with their hair on fire. They're going to definitely have some wrinkles on offense. I feel like with a new play caller, and obviously I think their defensive line's been respectable all year, and can beat you if you're not bringing your A game. And they're either going to lay down like they did in 2017 when McElwain was all but gone that year as well, or they're going to get fired up and be rejuvenated, come and surprise you like they did in 2014 when Muschamp was about as gone as well. So, right? So, that's a good Exhibit A, Exhibit B on coaches that were dead men walking or fired going into the Georgia game after their bye week from when they had Muschamp in 2014. We got beat by them. Mm-hmm. They came out and played a whole lot better than we thought, and we kept shooting ourselves in the foot, and we lost an inexcusable game. 2017, they were just down the dumps, laid down. We came out, played our A-plus ball, and it was an enjoyable time, and we whooped them. So I think it's going to be one way or the other. I don't think this Kirby Smart Georgia team is not going to come out focused and let them sneak up on us and be overconfident. I think we're obviously going to have to play our best football to win this game because still this Florida team is very capable of beating you because of how good they are on the defense side of the football still, right? And there's still talent on offense, man. I think they got some talent at wide receiver. Jaden Ball is a heck of a running back. And DJ Lagway, man, we saw last year what could happen before he was injured if the lights come on for him. So he's still very talented, not been lived up to expectations this year, but still a very talented quarterback. So,
right.
It's going to be interesting to see what that team, their demeanor is coming out and how they start the football game out, man.
Mm-hmm. Let's start here with Georgia's offense, and then, yes, we'll also talk about Georgia's defense and Florida's offense as well. Florida, man, they like you just mentioned, they have a pretty solid run defense. They're only giving up 117 yards per game, so pretty good. Not terrible, but kind of average, I'd say. I mean, Georgia's at something like 80, I think, still, which is really good. I mean, anything under 100 is awesome. But I think where you can beat this Florida team is definitely through the air. They allow 219 yards per game through the air, 67th in the nation, so kind of middle of the pack. I think if you're Georgia here, you get the ball to your playmakers. I mean, this is obvious. Get it to Zachariah Branch. I'm really going to be looking forward to see whether or not we use a lot more of Noah Thomas this upcoming week. It was very promising, though, to see Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp both. I mean, both of them, they had a day against Ole Miss. So moving forward, you know, and a lot of this has to do with the scheme that Florida runs defensively, but I'd like to think we're going to get Noah Thomas, our big guys, Noah Thomas, Oscar Delp, and Lawson Lucky all involved in this game.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. I'll go ahead and say it. Mike Bobo's the lead offensive coordinator right now. And,
okay.
I mean, the trajectory where this offense could go after seeing that Ole Miss game and then looking around the college football landscape, I think it's going to be hard to argue with the potential right now and the upward trajectory and the stock of Georgia's offense is quickly rising right now going into this football game, man. And Gunnar Stockton's stock's quickly rising and his ability to lead the offense. And I think if they could continue to stay healthier and get healthier on the offensive line, of course, you hate losing Colby Young, obviously, but next man up in a talented room there. See what they do with like a young guy like Elias Williams tight end. If he gets, some looks kind of being split out at wide out and some scenarios too, man. Just see also what wrinkles Georgia made on offense as well. Some more guys getting reps, younger guys growing up, right? So I expect Georgia's offense to have a good test against this Florida defense, especially along the line of scrimmage, like you mentioned, Clark. Let's see what this offensive line can do, because I'm under the assumption and the thought and the opinion, and people may call me stupid, that this offensive line could really gel and click and become a very strong unit, man, down the back stretch of the season. And I think Saturday is going to be a good litmus test for it.
Yep.
In the sense of, hopefully these guys are healthier along the O-line. I can't wait to see how we move the football. But, I think we're going to have success offensively. And I just feel like that our offense is in a very good spot right now. Couldn't be more confident and happy where we are offensively going into this football game.
Me too, man. Me too. And I mean, we've been saying it all year. If you clean up the injuries, not clean up, if you kind of can prevent the injuries and get healthy, this is a very, very dangerous Georgia offensive unit. Adam, I think we've got some wrinkles. We're going to see some new things this week. And that's the beauty of the bye week. You can install new packages, try new things. And it's kind of an open tryout for your guys too for these young guys, to win some more playing time, especially on the perimeter. I mean, we've got a lot of really young talent that we haven't seen play a lot at receiver. I mean, think about Sokovie White. I think he's kind of that guy who could make a big step and a big contribution in a game like this. Potentially CJ Wiley. You know? I don't know.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you're 100% right. And I just want to mention this. I know I just said Mike Bobo and lead offensive coordinator. People are screaming in their car at me saying this, calling me an idiot, whatever. But just look at the college football landscape, man. What this Florida offense was supposed to be. What the LSU offense was supposed to be with the fifth year. What Clemson's offense was supposed to be. I mean, the list could go on and on. Yeah. Actually, an offense that was pitiful last year that was a dead man walking. Colin Klein in College Station, Texas, with Marcel Reed. Look what they've done. They have look respectable, man. And then look at, you remember the first month of the year, or the first month in September and on into October, coming out of Norman, Oklahoma, a young, just offensive mastermind named Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer. Yeah. I know he's been banged up, but did you see what they're at home playing Ole Miss defense at home, how they performed against Ole Miss compared to what just a week earlier Mike Bobo and Gunnar Stockton's Georgia offense did against that same Ole Miss defense at
difference.
Home? I feel like Georgia moved the football a whole lot better. I mean, that was just everybody was just oohing and ahhing over Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer and what Oklahoma could do, right? And then, so, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, I know, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm very giddy about what the offensive potential could be the rest of the year. And I just think as a fan base, we should get excited about that. Because I really think they're clicking and they're ramping up. And I really think stuff on the offense side of the ball can really click at the right time, man, if you stay healthy.
Yeah.
Get hot at the right time.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that could beat this Georgia offense this week is not taking care of the football. Last year,
That's right.
Carson threw 3 interceptions. That
Good
put us in a bind, man.
Great point.
And yet, even then, we scored 34 points.
Yeah.
Or I think it was, it was 34-20 last year. Man, like we had full control of the game minus those turnovers, but the only reason Florida even had a shot last year was turnovers. And I think the case is the same this year. And I heard Kirby say this today or yesterday in a press conference. If Gunner just keeps protecting the football like he has this season, then we are going to be a great football team. And he's done a good job of it, man. I mean, and think about Nate Frazier. I know everybody likes to rat on Nate Frazier and his inability to hold on to the football, but he's done well.
Hasn't fumbled since the
past
first
few
half
games
of the Alabama game.
Yeah.
So knock on wood right there. So, yeah, I mean, and we talked about it in this new era of college football. You got to get healthy and hot at the right time. In November, I feel like, and ramp it up and then see what happens in December. So, yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, red and black glasses, I get that. And a lot of fans really don't want to hear it because they're just doom and gloom. But this team could be very dangerous, man. So, no, very excited about seeing this offense again after a bye week, see what wrinkles I have, what guys are plugged into roles, guys getting healthier, guys getting more opportunity because of injuries, and see where we're at. So I think it's going to be a good test against a respectable Florida defense, man.
Yeah. All right, Adam, give me a breakout player. Who do you like on offense this week?
On offense this week, I'm going to go with Dylan Bell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, he's been heating up past few weeks, and we've been throwing. He's so clutch. I went back to that Ole Miss game, and he made 2 just fantastic catches. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go with an obvious Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, of course, man.
But, man, you think, though, if we can start moving the ball on the ground again, and once again, this is a pretty good Florida run defense, but I'd like to think Chauncey Bowens is going to get his. I like 33 in this game, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, I can't wait to see how this Georgia O-line does against this Florida defensive line, right? So, I mean, they played a very good Auburn defensive line, and Auburn, and with some banged up guys starting, some injuries, and probably might not have been the most impressive performance, but so I think you get a more of a healthier unit coming into Jacksonville, so that's going to be fun to see how we control the line of scrimmage.
Any injury update on guys like, I guess Monroe Freeland's probably good to go. I mean, man, he's been battling,
gutsy,
just playing through
Been
injury.
gutsy. Yeah.
Anybody I'm not thinking about? Obviously, Colby. He's out for the season or regular season.
Right. We'll see.
We don't know.
See. But, I mean, what on the offensive side?
Anybody I'm missing?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm excited about it. I think, of course, Gaston has kind of been banged up here and there. He's going to be good. Dontrell Glover, in the sense of just excited to see him anchoring down that guard spot, man. So, I think we should be pretty.
Yeah, we'll be all right. How many points is it going to take to beat this Florida team offensively? How many points do we have to put on the board to beat Florida this year?
I feel good with 24.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'm feeling real good with 24.
Yeah. So, I think Georgia will score more than 24. I think 24 points wins it.
The magic number. I like it.
I mean, I don't know. Some weird stuff happens.
It sure does,
right?
man.
Last year, it got, like you said, though, shot ourselves in the foot a lot.
Too many times. I mean, think about any game that you turn the ball over. I think back to that 2012 game. I mean, Georgia probably wins that. Now, that was a good Florida team back then. They were, number 2 in the nation or something?
Yeah, they were.
But Murray threw 3 picks in that game, and, we still won. So, I don't know, man. You cannot leave opportunity on the table for this Florida team because, look, I mean, yes, they are not great this year, but they are definitely good enough to beat Georgia
100%.
on any given Saturday,
100%,
right?
man.
So, you got to play cleanly on the offense. You got to obviously protect the football. And, man, just sustain drives. Just do your thing. I'm not really concerned about Georgia's offense.
No, I mean, I agree. I love where they're at, and but yeah, I mean, it's a wild card when you have a interim head coach and you have a bye week to put in some new wrinkles. I mean, even back in the day, I remember Urban Meyer would always throw in a wrinkle before Georgia. I remember those shovel pass to Aaron Hernandez, and like 08 and 09 around that area. So there was always a wrinkle they throw in. But with this new staff, I bet, like you said earlier, it's going to be the Super Bowl when this game would just be huge for them, and I think they're going to be ready to go. I don't think they're going to lay down. I hope they do. But
that'd be
it's
nice.
going to be a tough test. And, of course, their defense has been pretty good all year. So it's going to take an A-plus effort. And you're right. I'm not going to just sit here and just say, Georgia's going to roll all over them, because they're still a very talented team that if the lights come on for them and you turn the ball over, like you said, a couple times, then it get interesting in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. Very well could. All right, let's go to the other side of the football here. Georgia's defense versus Florida's offense. Florida right now is averaging 234, or we'll call it 235 passing yards per game. So really their main source of offense. It's not just totally lighting it up. I mean, that's pretty good, though. I'd say that's upper echelon of FBS right there. But on the flip side, their running attack is not that great. 102nd in the nation, 128 yards per game. So what that's telling me right off the bat, that plays into our strengths, right? Our strength on defense is stopping the run. And if you can't already run it, well, then that means you're probably just going to start airing it out.
Right.
And this is where, we got to play cleanly in the secondary. We've had some struggles this year. And just being out of position on the defense. And so I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that we're just not tackling super well. That's something Kirby addressed in his presser on Monday. They're going to be airing it out. I fully expect DJ Lagway to get his through the air. Very talented guy. Obviously, we saw him last year before he had his season-ending injury, which was awful. You hate it for the kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to say I like DJ Lagway,
but
I respect him.
I really do think, that he is
guy.
Absolutely. I think he carries himself well from what you see the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who doesn't keep up really with Florida, but yeah.
Yeah. DJ currently ranks 92nd nationally in pass efficiency and 104th in passing yards per completion. So Florida, from what I have seen, and by these numbers, Florida is not one of these teams that is just going to kill you with explosives. Now watch. Hold up. Let's all knock on some wood here. Let's knock on some wood here.
Oh, man, yeah.
Up to this point, they have not killed teams with explosives.
Right, yeah.
I think the best game in terms of explosive plays that they've had might have been Texas, but I don't really remember them just throwing it all over the field, bombs down the field. So that makes me feel a lot better in this matchup here. They may potentially pick us apart, but it's not going to be one of those things where they just take the top off of you like Joey Aguilar and Chris Brazzell did with Tennessee. I don't know.
Right. No, I agree with you, man. So, yeah, I think we saw last year what Lagway's capable of, and been a disappointing year this year. And I think it's going to be a good test to see again with our defense. I think you brought up a good point last podcast, and when you really said about it, and you try not to just overreact completely. Yes, this defense is not up to Georgia standard right now. I get that, but you look at the offenses, the Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Alabama, and how good those offenses are, and Florida's not near as good as what we've seen out of there, right? And of course, you're gonna say, well, we're gonna be facing either those teams again or offense is just as talented again later on. But no, let's just take baby steps right now and see where we're at. I'm excited to see what has been done with this defense, what Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann, and staff has done these last 2 weeks. As far as, I know at this point, like where you get what you get. There's not going to be some just magical guy be plugged in, an outside linebacker who's just going to be Davin Bellamy bull rushing the quarterback, right? So but do you simplify things more? In the sense of, I guess, playing more man, trying to send more guys and just seeing what happens in the sense of, a lot of the times where we've just been ate up in zone in the sense of almost, do you think we've gotten with some of the calls and plays, the scheme almost been a little bit too overcomplicated?
That's what it seems like. That's what it looks like because their guys just out of position, and that really hasn't been the case in my mind in the past 3 or 4 years. You just don't really see it that much.
Let me bring up something.
What?
And I know this isn't a unique to Georgia thing. This is obviously a whole college football thing, and it might just derail my point completely because every program in the nation's got to abide by it. And we talk about, do we have too many recruiters at position coaches and not enough just straight-up football fundamental X and O's guys? But is it more the fact that the limited amount of hours now that these coaches get to spend with players as far as you got guys who aren't developing in fundamental aspects that you used to could see because of you coaches were able to spend more time with just straight fundamental development, right?
Yeah.
And I know this might be dumb, and I know every
Potentially.
program in the country's got it. I mean, it's just something to think about, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, obviously the fundamental aspect of it, the lack of, the tackling not being up to par and everything, and just kind of, I guess, the technique. I'm no outside linebacker, edge rusher guru by any means, right? But yeah, I mean, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. We saw what happened when in the fourth quarter when we were able to disrupt Chambliss in the Ole Miss game. Got to, do that. And I just hope some guys step up, man. And I don't know, maybe at this point in the year, you're like, maybe you don't try to overcomplicate it. There's no just scheme, just change, I guess, in the sense you need to make to do something different that's going to help. Except me, maybe just thinking you kind of dumb it down a little bit and just play reactive football. Right?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know the answer.
I don't know. That might have been dumb, but I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not going to give up on this defense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, and let's just see what happens.
Yep. Florida's offense, man, they've mostly struggled to score all season too, averaging just 22.4 points per game. That's pretty bad. Everybody wants to crap on Mike Bobo. We are not in the 20s. We're not even close to being in the 20s points per game. And really, that's just not going to cut it if you're Florida. You can't score just 22 points and expect to beat this Georgia team. More specifically, you can't expect to beat Georgia's offense. Man, I'm touting our offense, and rightfully so. I mean, we've turned it on this season, especially in the middle half, I would say. I mean, they don't really score a whole lot of points, but that doesn't mean that they can't. I don't know. Maybe the jolt they need is a new interim. Who knows? But they do have the ability to turn it on. Like I said earlier, they ran the ball really effectively against Texas. That was really the only game that I saw Florida move the ball well on a good defense, man. I mean, one of the best rosters, or so we thought, at least preseason, in Texas. Florida did a good job moving the ball on them, and they used Jaden Ball to do that. Number 13 is sophomore running back. He's 6'1", 230. It's a good size for a running back right there. Yeah. And also Florida's leading rusher. He has 117 carries on the year, 611 yards, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. So pretty good there. Adam, who's the other running back I'm missing? Is there another? There's another. I think they had another one that was going to start.
Yeah,
and then I think he's been banged up with injury. I can't remember his name.
Ball has a guy that really talked about being a very underrated back preseason coming in, and honestly, a guy that if he decided he'd pull a Trevor Etienne and transfer to Georgia, I'd be all for it.
Yeah,
I really like Jaden Ball and a hard runner. I feel like so. Yeah, I think. He's definitely a guy that can run wild on you. But there's one thing you talk about. You mentioned it earlier, Clark. Even with this defense struggling, not up to the Georgia standard, one thing a Georgia defense is not going to have happen under Kirby Smart, and that's going to be able. You're not have somebody consistently just be able to run the football.
Yeah, and
it's coming. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
That's not going to happen. We're going to be able to stop the run, right? So I don't see Florida being able to. Yeah, they'll get some, but I don't see them having a lot of success running the football, and that makes me knock on wood. Yeah.
They have a couple of receivers that are kind of leading the pack here. Vernell Brown, sort of their version of Zach Branch. I think he's like a 5'11" kind of guy, more or less a slot receiver, and then also J. Michael Sturdivant, and that's sort of their version of Colby Young.
Yeah.
So two guys right there to look out for. If you're Georgia, I think they're both playmakers.
Is Dallas Wilson still hurt?
I think I know he was banged up, or I think he was banged up.
Stud.
Yeah,
freshman coming in, man. So yeah.
I know he's got some receptions this year. I don't know how much of a role he plays in this Florida offense. Honestly, didn't do
really kept up.
Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot.
I was about to say I
have
not watched much Florida this year. Just how the games have lined up,
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to watch some of this crap? Anyway, lastly, in terms of receivers, and I always like to consider this a receiver, the tight end. Tight end is definitely a receiver because they catch the football.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hayden Hansen is his name. That's Florida's tight end, 6'8", 269. Big guy right there, man. And I think they do target him every once in a while. So got to look out for those three for sure. And then obviously Lagway, he can run. He's athletic. That's not sort of his go-to thing, but he has the ability to do that. So, collapse pocket, get there, get home. we've got to create some chaos in the backfield.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. We need to come out with the hair on fire on defense. Like you said, cause some havoc, man. Get a turnover too. Get the momentum going. What we need to do on both sides of the football really is not start out like last year, but just start out get the ball. Start out like we did in 2017. Get the ball, or either let them go 3 and out and get the ball dropped down the throat, go 7-0 with what the turmoil they have in their program. Make them quit. Make them quit like Georgia did in 2017, man.
Yeah.
And, that would be something that I feel like, you could maybe establish and do in the first quarter, and it would be glorious. I don't expect that to happen. I expect that Florida will come out, man, with some pride and with the Pulse. But boy, it would be nice to just put our foot on their throat. And then if you do that, I would love nothing more than it to be a 2017 repeat.
That'd be great. Gosh, that'd be so much fun.
But starting out fast would be key.
Yeah. One final note about defense here. Florida, 103rd in the nation for total tackles for loss. I thought that was kind of an interesting stat. Yeah. They average 6.0 tackles for loss per game. So, once again, if you're going to eat this week, I think this is the week. This is the offense to do it against. I'm excited. Hopefully, Georgia defensively has ramped it up. And, maybe we'll see that kind of jolt that Sean Washington – was it Sean Washington? Yeah, in 2012. Sean Williams, not Sean Washington. I was getting Cornelius Washington, baby. Yeah, getting those mixed up. Anyway, when Sean Williams called out the team in 2012, maybe we'll get that similar kind of jolt for this defense, and maybe that carries us the rest of the season. We'll see.
Boy, that would be nice,
wouldn't it?
That was a fun defense. Well, yeah, because they got embarrassed in Columbia, South Carolina, a few weeks before that, man.
Yeah, 2012.
And then she didn't really do good in Kentucky up in Lexington before the bye week that year. So, great trip down memory lane there, Clark. Yeah, so hopefully.
Maybe KJ Bolden will have a players-only meeting. Do those even happen anymore?
I don't even know, man. Who knows with the current landscape? But I do feel like this team is resilient. And obviously, the defense is resilient, and can't wait to see what they come out of the bye week. See, so I mean, on paper, it looks like it's going to be a fun day in Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
But obviously, you don't play college football games on paper, especially rivalry games that are in neutral sites every year.
Anything can happen.
I'll see.
Going to be a fun Saturday.
Nothing better.
Absolutely. All right, we got some other Week 10 games that we're going to talk about right quick. Make some picks here, and score prediction coming up for Georgia, Florida. So let's start with number 9 Vanderbilt goes on the road to Austin, Texas. Texas being ranked number 20, which is kind of crazy to see. Texas is favored 1.5 points, 12 o'clock, ABC. This will be a great noon kickoff right here.
Yeah, it will, man. I wish this game was in Nashville, right?
Where dreams go to die.
Where dreams go to die, right?
For opponents.
So, yeah, absolutely. Clark, I think I'm going to go with Texas.
Are you really?
And Austin. 2 big wins in a row for Vanderbilt. A lot of spotlight on Vanderbilt, on Diego Pavia, obviously Clark Lee, Tim Beck, that whole coaching staff. Tim Beck's a great offensive mind, man. Done very well with that Vanderbilt offense, and just the whole program, the new culture, very impressive. Love seeing them win, but I don't like with the whole Jared Curtis news. But I think that's just he was just going there to visit with some friends. Right. There's no threat there. It's just wild. I was like, man, I cannot believe it's 2025, and we're reading about our potential highest-rated quarterback since Matthew Stafford potentially flipping to Vanderbilt. But hope, but he said he's a dog, all that good stuff. But still, it's like, man, we got to hope Vandy loses it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard 3 weeks in a row for a program like Vanderbilt, new to the scene, new to developing this culture. And then you get Texas, who has struggled the past couple of weeks, but had a big kind of gutsy win. They could have laid down in Starkville, Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
Came back. So maybe, does that give them a little, jolt of confidence to come back home and win against Vanderbilt? But I hope Vanderbilt wins, but I'm going to go with Texas. Clark.
Okay. Adam, I want to tell you something. My BS radar is sounding on Texas. I just don't I hope I'm not going to eat my words next week or a few weeks from now when we play them. I'm not impressed by Texas.
No.
I'm really
not. There's no reason to be.
Right? They went on the road to Mississippi State. Now, granted, give Mississippi State some credit. They play pretty tough football. They're not a great team per se, but they've played some teams pretty close this year.
Coaching malpractice.
Yeah, it is. Anyway,
by Jeff Lebby, man.
Yeah, but Texas, once again, they've just not impressed me. Vanderbilt has impressed me.
Oh, yeah.
And, Yes, I understand your point about, hey, Vandy, that they're new to the spotlight, whatever, and they're coming off
Third
kind of an
big
emotional
weekend.
high, yeah. But man, I don't know. Clark Lee's got me believing. Give me Vanderbilt
I
on the
love it,
road, a close game,
I hope you're
fun
right.
game.
I hope you're right. I
There
love it.
in Austin.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. We got number 10 Miami at SMU. 12 o'clock ESPN. Two great nooners right here. Miami right now is favored by 11.5. Is that a little too high for a spread? I know SMU, I think there's something like 5-3 up to this point, so not a great record, but
No. And Rhett Lashley obviously been in the conversation with some of the job openings, Arkansas in particular, right? So who did SMU lose to last week by a point? That was just like, man, after they beat Clemson, they went and lost to somebody that was just
hold
Wake
up, I can
Forest?
tell you. Let's see. We will see.
I want to say it was like Wake Forest, like 13-12. I saw that on the ticker.
Maybe so.
Check that out because they beat Clemson 2 weeks ago, which isn't very impressive these days, but still.
Yeah, lost to Wake,
Yeah.
13-12.
Yeah, so
Yikes.
that man, that's no good. But Miami, of course, 2 weeks ago, Beck threw 4 interceptions. That Friday night ACC game that gets very wild, lost to Louisville. Then last week had a slow start against Stanford. They came out the second half, ran away with it, but was tied at half or so. So, I mean, it could be tricky in Dallas. If SMU gets up to it, definitely capable of doing it, especially if Beck, just has
Beck's.
Beck has 3 or 4 turnovers, right? So,
Yeah.
give me Miami though, winning that game. Think just too much defensive talent, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Miami. But
I'm going to go with you too. That's a safe play. But man, yeah, Miami, same kind of thing. We thought, through 7 or 6 games that they were the real deal, and man, they sure do look the part.
yeah,
But that loss against Louisville, and then really last week too, struggling against Stanford, against one of the worst teams in FBS. In the middle of the season. This is when you're supposed to have everything figured out.
Right.
This isn't a Georgia Marshall situation at the beginning of the year. You're starting a new quarterback, right? So anyway, I'm going with Miami, but who knows? Might be close.
I mean,
We'll see.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a fun game to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got another SEC matchup. South Carolina at number 7, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored 13.5. This one is at 7 o'clock, ESPN. Adam, does Shane Beamer, does he just lay over and die here?
Yeah,
You think so?
yeah. I mean, God, could have been a huge win for him.
I know.
Beat Alabama and Willie B. Willie B got rocking. Willie B got the Spurrier. I mean, Willie B always rocks, and when they get in those situations. But that kind of reminded me of 2012 Spurrier era Willie B, right? I mean, still the loudest stadium I've ever been in was that 2012 Georgia-South Carolina game.
Same here.
But, of course, just program. It's just a difference, man, the culture of programs. The Texas-Mississippi State game, the Alabama-South Carolina game, teams that aren't used to winning just don't get it done, right?
Right.
And, I feel like Ole Miss is in an interesting spot. Probably 2 head coaches right now who are names being tossed for other positions, right? A little bit of distraction, but I think Ole Miss wins it at home. I think South Carolina has a pretty good defense in the sense of Dylan Stewart, so it might cause some trouble for Ole Miss's offense. But still, I think Ole Miss's offense puts up enough points, man. South Carolina's offense is really, unless they get a little help, another disappointment in the sense of, kind of came up with some higher expectations. I don't think they could keep up with what Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin's offense would be able to put on the board. And give me Lane winning, Ole Miss winning, and getting closer to punching a playoff berth. And also maybe Shane really having some conversations with the family on if he wants to go to Blacksburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
It's kind of just hit the ceiling of what he could do at South Carolina. Right. So
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Ole Miss too, man. They played good ball last week. And, yeah, I mean, Carolina, yikes. Man, they had their opportunity for their marquee win at home. If this were in Willie B, I'd very strongly consider taking Carolina. You're right. They got the defense. The offense, man, is horrible. They're just bad.
I really miss Dow Loggins, who's App State head coach, calling plays, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll also stick with Ole Miss in this one. And, yeah, it'll be a fun game to watch too. All right, Georgia Tech, number 8, Georgia Tech. That's wild. At NC State, 7:30 ESPN2. Adam, NC State is always known to just
in Raleigh, man,
just one time a
In
year
Raleigh.
pop somebody they shouldn't. Is this the time they get it done? I couldn't tell you anything about NC State football this year, but do you like this?
Dave Doran's team. Dave Doran's been pretty good coach, right? I kind of think he's going downward. His stocks got the red air going down, right? I mean, when it used to be, you actually would hear Dave Doran mentioned for some higher jobs, right? Kind of just thrown in there a little bit a few years back, but. Or is he even still? No, that's Dave Clawson. I'm thinking about it. Wake Forest. He retired. Dave Doran's still in Raleigh. Get the two Daves confused up there. But I kind of want to pick NC State.
I do too.
But I don't think they've just not been the typical, NC State teams that past few years. But you say they do pop some people. They're capable of in Raleigh. Give me Tech winning it. I think the one I think is going to jump up and get Tech will be Pat Narduzzi's Pitt team another week or two whenever they play them. And then
I think Tech also has Duke at some point.
No, they beat Duke.
They already played Duke?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, but we're running out of options.
I know.
People to beat Tech.
Tech might very well be undefeated.
Would this be 8-0? No.
This would be 9-0. I think. Yeah, I think so. If they win this one.
So
I could be wrong about that.
Pitt and who else would they have on the schedule before Georgia if they win this game? Pitt. I know it's Pittsburgh. It's probably another.
Yeah, I don't know. Adam, for what it's worth, too, Tech is favored by 6.5 points here. Gosh, man, I want to take NC State so bad, but is this the one I want to gamble on though? Not like actually.
Right.
But in this pick'em between you and me, once again, I could just pick every single game that you pick and still beat you.
Go with your heart. Go with your heart.
You know what? I'll take NC State.
There you go.
And boy, if I get it right,
you might pull away with two of them this week.
We'll see. Yeah, Tech is 8-0. They've got NC State this week at Boston College. Boston College horrible.
Yeah,
and then Pitt.
Chestnut Hill,
they very well could be
11-0.
11-0, having a better record than Kirby Smart's team.
Yeah, they gave They gave up the home game to play Mercedes-Benz Stadium, even though they're technically the home team in their home city, right? Oh, that's gonna be wild, man.
Give me the Wolfpack though to end this winning streak for Georgia Tech this week. Once again, couldn't tell you a single player on NC State's team. Don't need to. NC State always pops somebody they shouldn't. Go Pack.
Yeah, go Pack.
Do this number right here. There you go.
Go Pack.
There we go.
Love it, man. Yeah. Man, yeah, if NC State doesn't get them, but God, Pitt's in Atlanta, isn't it?
Yep.
Ooh. He might be 11-0. Mm-hmm. What a time. What a wild. Right. Yeah, I mean, you get Clark Lee at Vanderbilt and Brent Key.
Well, okay. Let me say something though before we get too in the weeds with Georgia Tech. Listen, they have played one ranked team, and that team is not even ranked right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Number 12, Clemson. That's it.
Oh, it's not impressive at all.
Their schedule is atrocious.
Oh yeah.
And now give them credit; they've done what they've had to do. Right. I mean, they've beaten everybody.
I mean, Brent Key's a good coach. Definitely turned.
And they've got a good team, but. Do not be deceived. This team very well could be fraudulent by the end of the
And we're already working on Tech.
Oh,
Kirby's all right. I mean, we're going to be ready to play. Yeah. Especially after last year, but they'll be ready because Brent Key lives to hate Georgia.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Do you think he has like a picture of Kirby up on a ceiling, like when he wakes up in the morning and looks at it and just sneers at it?
Yeah, or a dartboard. Or
or a voodoo doll.
Yeah, voodoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sure. A lot of respect between them two. That's sure, but I
don't think there is. I think there is. No.
You don't think so?
I think on the field after the game kind of a thing, but they hate each other.
Well, I mean, deep down, obviously they want to beat each other because both of them hate the institutions. Right. And I love that because you get an alumni like Kirby, obviously at Georgia, Brent Key at Georgia Tech, Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, same thing. Yeah. I love seeing somebody who bleeds their school, their home state, their school, and it makes them more passionate. That's what college football is all about. So it's going to be fun if they're 11-0, and we just go in there and crush them.
That would be sweet.
Can't wait.
All right, last game here. Speaking of coaches who, I was about to make a segue. Never mind. Number 18, Oklahoma. At number 14, Tennessee. Josh Heupel takes on his former team, his alma mater,
That's right.
Oklahoma, in Neyland. Tennessee is favored by 2.5 points. 7:30 ABC primetime. This is going to be a fun game right here.
I don't have a clue who I'll pick.
This one's wild, man. This could go really any way. I'm going to take Tennessee just because it's at home. But, man, Oklahoma's got the defense to slow down Joey Aguilar.
Yeah,
so.
if this was in Norman, this would be a no-brainer. Okay, you're going Tennessee. I'm going to go Oklahoma, Clark.
Okay. All right.
Tennessee's defense gave over 500 total yards against Kentucky last week.
Really?
Yeah.
To be fair, they put up like 56 points against Kentucky.
Did.
A respectable Kentucky defense as well.
Yeah,
but, I mean, that is atrocious.
And I just, was talking about Ben Arbuckle and Napier and their offense and everything. But, I think, Oklahoma still has a talented defense. But playing at Neyland, it's going to be a toss-up. But give me Oklahoma. I think they're going to put up enough points. I think it'll be a high-scoring game.
Yeah. We shall see. It'll be a fun one to watch. A lot of fireworks, I'm sure. Literally and figuratively on the field there, Neyland. So,
yeah,
we will see.
I think it's one both coaches really need to win.
Yeah.
Really need to win.
Honestly.
They're out of the play. Both of them, I would say, at this point are eliminated from playoff contention. Maybe can backdoor.
No, Tennessee can backdoor.
Both of them have 2 losses, right?
Yeah.
So both of them can backdoor, really.
Right. But Tennessee plays
SEC
Vandy.
race.
Oklahoma, I don't know who Oklahoma still has left on their schedule, but Tennessee has Vandy still on their schedule. So,
they could potentially, but it's going to be tough. But, yeah, I think both coaches, Venables needs it more than Heupel, but they're not going to fire Venables this year with just the market saturated head coach. I think for the hopes that they had early in the year, Oklahoma really needs to win it. And, of course, Tennessee needs – that's going to be a tough game right there to call. I love it.
Yeah, we'll be watching that game as we drive down to Disney World after the Georgia-Florida game.
That's right.
It's going to be fun. Well, hey, everybody, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It helps us grow this Georgia football community. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We'll have a Georgia versus Florida vlog out.
Oh, yeah.
Look out for that.
The annual vlog.
Yeah, we're going to show y'all a little bit of the scenery down there, the boots on the ground experience. So now is a great time to subscribe to us on YouTube. And also on this video, comment your score prediction for Georgia, Florida. Let us know how you feel about this game. You feel good, you feel bad. Hopefully you feel good because I think the Dogs are going to roll at them.
I do too.
Georgia, Florida, 3:30 ABC. Georgia right now is favored by 6.5 points. Might as well be a touchdown. Adam, I like Georgia a lot more than just a touchdown. Give me the Dogs 35-17. Dogs on top.
Love it.
What say you?
Yeah, I feel very good about this game. Still just always get nervous about it just because of the history of this and what I've witnessed down there. But in the same sense, man, what it's been like down there the past few years since 2021 has just been a joy. It has been a blessing. I always say this, but truly never take it for granted when Georgia's dominating on their rivals like they are. And to me, there's nobody more fun to watch them dominate against than the Florida Gators in Jacksonville. One last time in Jacksonville, man. It's going to feel weird since next year we won't play in Jacksonville for the first time since 1995. So soak this one in. If you're going down there, enjoy every second of it because you don't get to go back until, 2028. So last time down there in this stadium, and then it's going to be, I think, a dome. So the whole dynamic of it's going to be different from what you grew up knowing and loving. So enjoy this one. Big one, man. Hopefully catapults this team. I think this team's going to get hot at the right time, Clark, especially on the offense. That's when it's leaning towards. And let's see with the defense, man. But Kirby hates Florida. We hate Florida. You should hate Florida. Instill your Florida hate. Get a Three Musketeers bar this week, like we talked about earlier. Watch some old Georgia-Florida highlights and get your juice going down there. Can't wait for the annual pilgrimage down southeast Georgia, all that red and black coming. There's nothing like it. Let's do it one more time. Georgia's going to win this football game 38-20. We'll see y'all in Jacksonville. Love y'all. Be safe. God bless. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.